So the first thing we can do is show you how to record in the waveform monitor. And so I've already created a file here, but I can go over it. So this is my untitled track, and I can just record over the specific track if I want. I start in the beginning, and then I just hit record. So then I hit play, record, record, whatever I want to do. So that's how you record into there. So that one's pretty easy. And the second place that you can record, I'm going to open up a new multi-track session and just writing multi-record. And so now I can record onto here, but as you can see, if I hit the record button, it's not recording anything because I haven't designated where to record it. So you can designate, you have to arm a track, and as you can see now I can get a preview of what my audio sounds like. So there's the preview right there, and then from there you hit a record, and now you can see my audio recording onto this particular track. So you can do that with whatever track you want, but you have to designate in this multi-track session which track you want to record onto. And then let's also talk about the difference between adding an effect in the waveform. So if I add an effect here on the waveform editor, if I add a track here, or if I add an effect here, so say if I add a vocal enhancer here, and I can do a high tone or something, and add that, and I can add several on there if I want to. But if I hit the apply, it actually impacts this file. So all of those effects are what they call destructive. So that means they can't be undone once I hit apply and then once you hit save. Obviously, if they're not saved, it doesn't happen. So it's just really important that these are called destructive when you add effects in the waveform, because it only applies to that one single track, and they are what they call destructive. However, if I were to open up the Mobius remix and I were to maybe add an effect to this track here, so I can add it. If I add an effect here to this track, then they're what they call destructive, especially if I hit apply, versus adding the effect here. So what I can do is open this up, and I could add it, track effects, I can add it here, or I can add it here. So I can add a delay, an echo, or something. And then what happens is these effects are saved to this multi-track session. So it's not going to affect this individual track. I mean, it will apply to this specific track, but it's what they call non-destructive. So anything that you can add reverbs, you can add anything to this specific track in the multi-track editor, but the effects are not going to be saved onto this original file. So the string harp, so it's not going to be saved to this individual file. So you can do any sort of effects to this file in this track, and it's not going to be saved to that. It's not going to harm that file. So that's what they call non-destructive. And then so then let's go to this in lesson 9. So let's do this Mobius Remix multi-track session file, and we're going to put a slice using the razor blade tool and then add a pan. So how we do this is, so I'm going to choose something that's a little bit longer. So maybe I'm going to zoom in as well. So what I can do here is, if I want to make this dreamy bass, so I'm going to solo this, so this is the only thing that I hear. Of course, you won't be able to hear it now because I don't have the monitor on. So what will happen is, so what I can do here is I can use the razor blade tool, which is up here. I'm going to make this bigger so I can work with it a little easier. And use the razor blade, and I'm going to put what they call cuts in there. So I'm going to cut, cut, cut. There we go. Cut there. Okay, so it's not going to really affect the track or the clip unless you adjust some parameters in there. So see, you can actually, so this is the volume, so I can actually increase, and just notice it only affects the element that you selected. But you can also click in the pan. And so now once I've selected this, if I place keyframes in there, I can now move it. So I can go from low, so this is from right, so I can, so it'll go to the right ear. So then, and then this now goes to the right. And so you can adjust these keyframes as you need be. So that's how you do a pan within a clip by just using the razor blade tool.